Gurudakshina. It all happened more than 2000 years ago. Have you heard of the Chola kingdom? The Chola dynasty is one of the longest ruling dynasties in the world. Their kingdom was coming to its glory. Do you know, friends? In those days, there used to be Gurukulas in each and every village of Bharat, our nation. Gurukulas were residential schools where students used to study for 12 years. There, they used to learn 64 types of courses and skills, including the Vedas, Shastras, science, astronomy, mathematics, Ayurveda, weaponry, martial arts, music, and so on. No upfront fee or donation to be paid. At the end of their education, during convocation, students could give whatever they could afford, money or anything in kind that helps running the Gurukula as Gurudakshina. In one such Gurukula in the Chola kingdom, a batch of students were having their convocation and samarpana of Gurudakshina. After the convocation proceedings, the Acharya noticed the boy who was sitting sadly under a tree. He was Kambu. The Acharya went to him with concern and asked why he was still there even after the convocation was over. Kambu said, Gurudeva, I was an orphan when brought to this ashram. I have nothing to submit as Gurudakshina. The Acharya calmed him down and said, Son, don't worry. As Gurudakshina, I ask you to go and educate the uneducated. That will be enough to please me. On the spot, taking the words of his Guru as the mission for his life, Kambu replied, Gurudeva, your wish is my command. He bowed to the Acharya and left the Gurukul. He travelled long distances beyond the borders of the Chola kingdom, crossing many lands, and a few years later landed in an absolutely unknown place where he could not find any mark of civilization. Inhabited by tribals, this place seemed never explored by the cultured societies. When he was spotted, the tribals welcomed him with pelting stones. Kambu tried hard to escape the stones but did not run away. Seeing him trying to approach them and talk, those people stopped pelting stones. Kambu slowly went towards them. He tried to connect with them in many languages and signs. They did not understand a word of it. Finally, with a lot of effort, he was able to convince them that he was a friend and not a foe. Kambu then built a simple ashram on the outskirts of their village. Slowly, Kambu learned their language and mingled with the tribal people. He taught them manners and culture. He made them learn the languages of the external world and imparted all the skills he had learned at his Gurukula. After several years, the tribals turned civilized. They organized themselves very well and formed their own kingdom. In order to honor their Guru, they named their nation after his name, Cambodesha, to mean the nation born by Kambu. They called themselves the Kambojas and declared him their king. Kamboja Desha was well connected with the Chola kingdom and naturally immersed with the culture of Bharat. It was ruled by prominent kings like Jayavarman II and Suryavarman II, who took Kamboja Desha to its glory and established trade with many nations like China, Vietnam, Myanmar, Indonesia, and Malaysia. Even today, the world's largest temple, Angkor Wat, is in Kamboja Desha. Over a period of time, the word Kamboja Desha gradually transformed into Cambodia and then into Kampuchea. 1,000 years later, when the French invaded Kampuchea and formed their colonies, being not able to pronounce Kampuchea properly, they called it Cambodia. Though even today, the country's official name remains Kampuchea. Thus, Kambu submitted the greatest ever Gurudakshina in the history of mankind. What an amazing inspiration!
Story narration Vidhata Chidwilasa Story 1 presented by Dattatri Media.